I say, we are on the final final workshop, which is about developing and promoting a growth mindset, part 3 of our growth mindset series. And today we're just going to redefine what it actually looks like in the classroom, what a growth mindset teacher looks like. We're going to have a think about growth mindset language, how we can change the way we talk to our students, how we can change the way that we teach them, that we develop their learning. And we're going to think about a few strategies that we can actually practically use in our classroom. So, growth mindset then. It's when we have a strong belief that our intelligence can be developed, okay? That we can really open our minds and then open our students' minds into how we can promote better learning, more successful learning. So when somebody maybe is struggling with a task, we can turn things around, and rather than say, I don't know how to do this, I can't do it, we can encourage our students to say, well, we can do this. We just need to learn in a different way. We can think about how to get better at doing things. So growth mindset is all about being open-minded, encouraging our students and using vocabulary that will allow our students and ourselves to grow, because that's what this is all about. If we grow as teachers and we grow on a personal level and a professional level, we will get successful outcomes in our classrooms. So a growth mindset teacher then, what does a growth mindset teacher look like? Well, we're not starting with appearance. We're not talking about appearance here. We're talking about how a teacher presents themselves towards other people, towards colleagues, towards managers, towards our students. It's all about how we manage obstacles, how we manage challenges, whether we shut ourselves down and turn away from them, which would be a fixed mindset, or whether we approach challenges with a more open mind and we think about how we can overcome obstacles and how we can move forward. And a growth mindset teacher, we understand that we are learners just as much as our students are learning. The world is changing all the time and we need to keep up with it as teachers, and we are just as much a work in progress as our students are as well. And it's a very healthy, positive attitude to take on board and to demonstrate to our students. And I think Dustin's going to share an example with us now.
Yes, so in regards to teacher growth, and a work in progress too, not just our students. I have a wonderful story. One day I had graduated and I was signing up for a class at university to just further my education. And I was walking into the building and I saw an old friend of mine, and he was a local judge in town. He was very brilliant, he was very kind, just fun to be around. And he was walking with me. Then I made the remark, like, you're here you're going to be teaching the class, and they teach students. He's 1 year old. We ended up partners class, and his grow no matter how came his way, age, his passion to grow and to continue learning caused me to reflect on how important it is for us as teachers to continue growing, no matter how far we are along in our teaching journey. So
that's brilliant, Dustin. Thank you so much for that example. That's absolutely fabulous. And it's a really supportive and really positive example to share. Thank you. Okay, so a bit more detail about what a growth mindset teacher looks like. It's a teacher as I've said already, that sees that they too, they're always learning, that we're developing just as much as the students in front of us. And we are expanding our skills, expanding our toolbox, if you like, on how to be better and how to deliver in a positive way. We develop our practice, which allows our career to grow. It allows our career to progress and for us to move forward in our roles, responsibilities, and possibly get promotions as a result of moving forward. Growth mindset teachers, then we are always questioning ourselves. We're thinking about, okay, how can I have done that better? How can I do that lesson differently in order for it to resolve in better and more improved outcomes? So we have a very reflective approach to our teaching, and we take responsibility for our own professional development. We may be lucky enough that our schools give professional development to us in formal lecture type settings, but I think it's even better for us to take individual responsibility and to think about a teacher portfolio that we can keep for ourselves, so we can record our successes, our achievements, or our areas for development. Growth mindset teachers, we connect with other teachers as a result of this reflection that we do. Perhaps we will get a learning partner and we will share experiences, we will share our subject matter and bounce ideas off each other on how to improve our practice, how to learn from each other. As I was saying, growth mindset, it's not just about our growth mindset. It's also about our learners, and we need to model this growth mindset in order for our learners to progress. So we can build trust in our relationships with our learners. It will help the learning happen in a more successful, perhaps a more positive and fun way to make it more memorable for our learners. We would then think about deeper learning rather than superficial surface learning. We think about how to move our students forward, move away from simply just coverage of content and explore a deeper level of understanding and show our learners how to reflect upon their own progress and their own learning. So we help, we support them, and we model growth mindset. And with that comes a strong moral purpose. We have such a big responsibility on a day-to-day basis, and we all have our reasons for being who we are, for delivering what we deliver, and we have a strong moral purpose. So we think about why we chose to teach, and we remember that on a daily basis. Okay, so now it's your turn. You can see on the screen there are some speech bubbles, and I'd like in the chat box, please, if you could label which number would be an example of a growth mindset type of speech or a fixed mindset type of speech. If you have a look at the expressions, how would you define the type of phrasing, whether it's growth or mindset? And I'd like you to please type your responses into the chat box. Just a bit, and there's a few more late arrivals, but that's fine. So into the chat box then, please, if you can add whether you think, oh, lovely, thank you, Rebecca. Growth mindset for the first one, absolutely. Fixed mindset for the second one, yeah. Got some lovely answers coming on board here, thank you. Yeah, number one, it maybe if I tried it another way, I might do it correctly. Absolutely. That's a nice example of having a growth mindset, of being reflective. And then the second one, I'm hopeless at this. There's no point in carrying on. Fixed mindset. There's no room for maneuver there. Absolutely. Thank you, Hugh. Thank you, Benjamin. Yeah, absolutely right. Chibanji, you said number 4. is which one are you saying? Number 4 is a growth mindset. Absolutely. If we improve our efforts and attitude, we will all move forward. Number 3, did anybody get that one? I didn't get it right this time, but with practice, I can improve. So here we're looking at a growth mindset for that one. Some great answers. Yes, lovely. Thank you, Sarah. 3 is also a growth mindset. You're right. And then the last one. Number 5, we're all rubbish at maths in my family. Why would it be different for me? And that does resonate with me, actually, because we all, my family and I, we do struggle at maths. But it's my job as a parent, just as much as a teacher, to encourage my own children to have a growth mindset, to find a way around things. So I think we can expand this growth mindset, not just into our teaching and our professional lives, but into our personal lives just as much. Okay, so a few strategies then for the classroom. We experience so many scenarios, so many interactions in our classrooms every day, and it changes on a daily basis. It's hard to keep track of what we're saying because we have so many children in front of us, and we're constantly trying to respond and trying to help, trying to support. And sometimes it might be easy to slip into a fixed mindset. But it's very important to, if we practice growth mindset, it becomes habitual. It becomes a natural way of thinking and a natural way of speaking. So it is important to be mindful of what we are saying and how we are presenting ourselves in the classroom. And yes, it is generally the most challenging situations that we are confronted with, where we do need to work hard on these growth mindset strategies. It would be easy to snap, to say something quick and short to the challenging students who are pushing our buttons. But those are the students that more than ever will need us to demonstrate a growth mindset, to support them in deeper ways and to help them move forward in their learning. So before we look at a few actual examples, I think, Dustin, you said you've got a few ideas to get us started.
Yeah, just to double down on what you were saying, those students that often bring the most challenges, like it's so important, like the language that we use, our reactions to student behavior is paramount to our building meaningful relationships with our students. And that helps them prepare for success both inside and outside the classroom. So I teach 7th and 8th grade, and I teach adults on the weekends. And one thing that I'm still learning in my growth mindset journey is to not take those behaviors personally. So from the outset, I always make 2 promises to any student, no matter how young or old, that I'm teaching. And one of those is that they're going to be challenged in my classroom, but 2, they're going to be cared for no matter what. And refocusing ourselves on that, I think, is really important. So whether we're dealing with a challenging parent or a challenging student, whether we're dealing with a challenging colleague, maybe even, we desperately need to train ourselves, as the old adage goes, to be curious and not furious, and try to react in such a way that we get to the root of that behavior, and that we can get to the root of what it takes to build those meaningful relationships, and building that kind of culture in your classroom. Just for encouragement to you guys, like, it takes time, and it takes patience and persistence and commitment to knowing your student every day. and every day brings its new challenges.
Yeah,
I think together we can do.
absolutely right, Dustin. Every day, I totally echo, and that resonates with me. Every day we need to go back strong and keep maintaining our growth mindset. Absolutely, you're right. So I'm just going to skip on to the next slide. Still having a few technical issues, please excuse me. So here we go, here's a few scenarios. What should we do? So scenario 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm going to show you typical fixed mindset responses. So a student is constantly shouting out. I'm sure we've experienced this. They're shouting out answers, giving no one else a chance to contribute, which is lovely to a point, but it's only one student constantly shouting out. So I'd like us to have a think about, and if anybody would like to volunteer and unmute themselves, what could we do which would demonstrate a growth mindset when we have a student who is constantly shouting out and giving no one else a chance? Would anybody like to unmute and give an example response?
All right, this is Benjamin. I'm ready to give the first response for number one.
Yes, please.
Okay, so for the group mindset response, I would equally say, hello, student. Why don't you give the chance to your colleagues to also try their best? That could be my response for number one, so that at least that student will get to know that if the other colleagues are able to also try their best, at least they would have a good mindset. Thank you.
You're absolutely right. That's the kind of thing that I have put. I'm going to show you my responses shortly before we'll move on to the other two. So thank you so much for that contribution. Let's move on to number two. We have a group of students who are chatting. They're not focusing on the task given. A fixed mindset, typical response would be quiet or you lose your social time. How could we turn that into a more positive growth mindset response? Who would like to respond to that one, please? Anybody? My internet signal is wobbly.
Maybe I should still come in again. This is Benjamin.
Okay, so the kind of thing that I do, I'm going to show you on the second slide. So I would move to the group, I would compliment and be positive about their group dynamics, but I would try hard to refocus them and suggest that they may run into break time if they don't finish their work. So it's all about refocusing and being positive, and the fact that they're interacting and compliment them, but get their focus returned to the piece of work that they are completing. Okay, the third scenario, a parent, I'm sure we've come into contact with this scenario. A parent complains that their child is not making the expected progress. So a fixed mindset response would be they are never going to get brilliant response, so we have to accept their attainment. How can we make that a growth mindset response? Would anybody like to unmute?
Yeah, I'm here again, Benjamin.
Hi, Benjamin.
All right, so if a parent complains that their child is not making the expected progress, the positive growth mindset statement that I can give is to tell the parents that, hello, parents, please allow your child to try his or her best. Hello, can you hear me? Can I continue? All right, so I'll let the parent know that.
Can I try, Sarah? I'm trying to.
Okay,
yes,
I'll let
Benjamin
the parents know that please allow your child to keep on trying his or her best.
Hello, Sarah, can I come in?
Yes, of course.
Oh, it's Tandy here.
Hi, Tandy.
Scenario number 3. Yes, scenario number 3. I would talk to the parents and just try and make them see that how important it is to compliment their children for hard work. Firstly, not to compare them with other children, how important it is for their child to know that their parents appreciate that they are putting so much into that, and support them through this transitioning of wanting to to attain the best. Positivity, I would say that they need to speak positive to their child. They need to have a positive attitude. They need to focus on what the child is attaining. Let's say, for example, the child was the little successes that are moving towards attaining that which a child can attain. Remember, it's not about them. The child must not live their dreams. They must not, the child has to do what they're good at with their support and speaking very positive. That I would say to them. And can I go to
Sandy,
number 4 before?
Yeah, that's a brilliant example. Thank you so much. And it's pretty similar to what I've got on the next slide. Absolutely praise the child and praise the parent for engaging and to help support their child and give them strategies on how to move forward. Absolutely a growth mindset response.
Definitely.
And then, yeah, and then the final scenario
can I do number 4? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not talking over you. There's a glitch, so I'm just trying to hurry up so that because we have load shedding here in South Africa, so 2 hours. But anyway, I'm still connected before you lose me and I lose you. The last one, a weaker student is struggling to keep up.
Do the last.
Okay, the growth mindset would be here to again to praise this child. Firstly, for persevering, regardless of the fact that it is difficult for them and they cannot keep up. They are not where their other classmates are. But for the fact that they are doing something, they are hardworking, I would also make this weak learner to focus on the strength of working hard and persevering. And I would make sure that I award this child. With you will get there. You are doing good. This is good. Things like, oh my goodness, and you did this by yourself. Oh, and to think that last week you did not believe that you would. Look how far you've come. Look how far you come. And then this is a child where you will do what? Will do what we call intervention. We have small bites. Remember, we don't want to shock them. We don't want to crush their confidence, because confidence is very important. So you just give them in small bites, and you make that your lessons link. Check their success, you check their growth, and of course, you check their confidence as it grows until you are sure that they can run on their own. But it's work that has to be consistent. As a teacher, you need to be consistent when it comes to such okay, I'm done.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much. I've put up this. Thank you so much. I've put up the slide, and it's very similar to what you've been saying. And you're right. We cannot underestimate the importance of praise, because it is such a motivational tool. Justin, I think you had something you'd like to contribute to this part of the workshop.
Oh yeah, it's just she said everything I think we needed to say on that. That was so good. I would actually just love to work alongside her. She seems like just as
Tandy is our little superstar.
I would
working-
really like to work with you, Justin. I mean, Dustin, I beg your pardon. I would
You-
really like to do that. I'm excited today because I got to join in. Yippee, I've been having problems. Maybe it's the adrenaline.
It's always the way, Tandy. It's my turn to have problems today. I know, normally it was you, now it's turned around to me. You've handed them over to me. So on reflection then, everybody, the importance of a growth mindset cannot be underestimated. It impacts us, it impacts our learners, and it is such a powerful motivational tool. And our style must be one of growth mindset, so that we demonstrate that for our learners. I'm going to hand over to Justin Murray now, because he's going to tell us a little bit more about who he is, who he represents, and how it could be supportive in your own learning and teaching. Justin?
So just thanks again for the opportunity to just learn from you all. Benjamin, thank you for your contributions as well. That was iron sharpens iron. And so just as a teacher, I love sitting with different teachers and hearing their thoughts and their mindset. And I think it sharpens us all when we get to do this in community together. So I'm the education editor at World History Encyclopedia. That's my third job. And we have this core belief that history grows the mind. And that's threaded through every single article, every single definition, every single collection, every single lesson plan and video that we aim to produce. And we have just a beautifully diverse team of people working behind the scenes that really desire to improve learning across the world. And one aim that we have is to provide resources to and that forge deep and informed and dynamic critical thinkers, because we do believe that studying the past helps us understand and make sense of our world and the present, so that hopefully together we can all start building toward a better and brighter future. And just to encourage each of you, keep learning, keep growing. Any way that we can ever help, please feel free to reach out to us. It's my favorite thing in the world to do, is when a teacher has a question or needs feedback on something, to be able to get back with you. And our entire team feels the same way. So thank you for all that each of you are doing.